Hey guys, it's Chandler, and welcome to the Healing Heroes.
I promise you.
I'm Chandler Stroud, an executive, wife, and busy mom of two, who after years of living with anxiety, health struggles, and an unshakable feeling like I should be happier, made a profound discovery that changed everything. Join me on a journey where unexpected paths lead to healing and more happiness. On this show, we'll explore unconventional ways to unlock more joy in your own life with the help of my very own healers and trusted advisors, the Healing Heroes. Hey, everybody. I am so excited to have Nicole back with us today. And in this conversation, we're going to be talking about all things Thai bodywork. Now, I know you've already heard Nicole before come on the show to talk about yoga, hot yoga, vinyasa yoga, all different flavors of yoga, as well as sound healing. And if you missed those episodes, I highly recommend you go back and take a listen because they are so informative. And it's really amazing the different ways that we can tap into these approaches to really, again, drop into our bodies, learn how to meditate and relax if historically that's been inaccessible to you. And of course, move your body in the case of yoga. And I am a huge fan, and I'm so excited to have her back today to talk about Thai bodywork. And I will tell you guys, I hadn't even heard of Thai bodywork myself. As you know from our first episode, I met Nicole through yoga, through my local yoga studio. She teaches there, and I have taken many of her warm vinyasa classes and have done her sound healing workshops. And beyond that, she mentioned to me that she does Thai bodywork, and I was so curious. We got together and she did a session for me, and I learned it's more of a yogic practice than anything else, which is going to be really fascinating to talk about today. I think a lot of people probably assume it's similar to Western massage, but today we're going to talk about how it's different and the various benefits that you can experience from Thai bodywork. I will tell you guys, it was a phenomenal experience for me. I didn't know what to expect walking in, but I went to Nicole's home where she has what I can only call a Zen den. It's beautiful. There was a big kind of mat on the ground that almost looked like a big, comfortable bed. And it was the best combination of yoga, of massage, and stretching that was so unexpected, but left me feeling so relaxed and so rejuvenated by the end of the session. So I'm really excited for you guys to learn more about it today because I got so much out of my time with Nicole, and she is such an expert in this space. You guys are learning from the best. So before we get into that, let me do a quick refresher on Nicole's background for new listeners who might be joining us today. Nicole is dedicated to the art of holistic healing with her own journey centering around the fusion of yoga, Thai bodywork, and the transformative power of energy and sound healing. Through the mindful integration of yoga postures, the therapeutic touch of Thai bodywork, and the resonant frequencies of energy and sound, she aspires to guide individuals to self-discovery and holistic well-being while creating a space where both the body and spirit find restoration and balance. Nicole, thank you so much for being back with us today. I'm so excited for this conversation and to tell listeners a lot more about the Thai bodywork that you do.
Oh, thank you, Chandler. I'm so happy to be here.
Awesome. Well, we are excited to have you. And I know we've already gone deep into your yoga background and practice in the previous episode, as well as sound healing. Again, I have loved both of those experiences with you, and Thai bodywork is no exception. I loved our time together, and I'm so excited for people to learn more about Thai bodywork because I feel like it's probably less familiar to many. And I don't even know where you can go to proactively seek that out, which is something we're going to talk about towards the end of our conversation today. So people can try and find a way to engage in Thai bodywork near them, which I'm very excited about. So, Nicole, how would you explain what Thai bodywork is to people who are totally unfamiliar with it, have never heard about it before?
Yeah, Thai bodywork is an incredible combination of multiple modalities. So it's a combination of yoga, deep stretch, acupressure, compression, all in one incredible experience. So you're not just lying in a restful space, you're actually being moved around and manipulated around. So it's an energetic exchange between you and the practitioner. It's a three-dimensional experience, and it's just the most incredible experience. And I love so much, and I love being able to offer it and to bring awareness to people, because once you've had that experience, it's hard to be satisfied with a traditional massage or any other type of body work, because you're left feeling like, I want more. And with Thai massage or Thai body work, you're able to get all of these different experiences in one incredible offering.
I can totally attest to that, because I felt like as soon as our one-on-one session was finished, it was like you were able to massage and release tension in places that I always want a masseuse to touch or really go deep in, but sometimes they just gloss over. And I felt like you really got in there between the pressure and the stretching. I was like, oh my gosh, my whole body released. It was amazing.
Yeah, it's an intuitive practice. And that's one of the things that makes it a little different from traditional massage is that if you were to go in for a massage and say, oh, my low back is tender and I would like for you to manipulate that muscle, and they'll go in and they'll manipulate that particular muscle. And with Thai body work, it's movement and stretch. And so we're not going to focus just on that muscle. We're going to focus on the sen line, which is the energetic channel where you could be experiencing blockages. And maybe that pain that you're experiencing in your low back is actually starting from your feet. And you don't even realize that until your whole body is being manipulated and you feel this incredible release that you didn't even know that you had within your body, because you'd been focused on one particular spot. And you can even feel them. I can feel them energetically, and I'll hold within that spot. And it could be in your ankle, it could be on your foot, a very random place that you wouldn't expect, and will just stay there, and you feel this incredible, powerful release. So it's a physical, energetic release and experience.
That's very cool. Yeah. I love that. And for those loyal listeners, you might be having an aha moment the way I am right now, because what Nicole's talking about is the exact same thing that Jacques talks about with acupuncture. It's the same thing Karen talks about with myofascial release, which is really like you have to treat the whole body. Sometimes the pain you're experiencing in your shoulder, your back, your leg, wherever, it's not isolated to that place. The body has so many meridians within it. And sometimes, I love Karen's analogy for myofascial release. She talks about knitting a sweater and how if you pull one thread of that sweater, sometimes the yarn bunches up far away from the place you're pulling, right? And that's kind of a good visual for the body and how it works, I think.
Absolutely.
And it's really interesting that you guys are all talking about healing the same way. You're just approaching it with different tools in your toolkit.
Tools. And that's what's so powerful, because what one person may need could be a very different experience from another. Or maybe where you are in this moment, you need Thai body work and then myofascial, down the line, or acupressure or acupuncture and all of these things. And it's so incredible to have all of these holistic, natural offerings that help promote wellness.
Yeah, no, I love that. I love that. And I'm so excited and grateful to have learned about Thai body work, because truly, it was such a great complement to some of the other things I consistently do, throughout the month. And I think to your point, I think there is like a knowing almost, like when you get a really good practitioner, they can feel that energy. They know where to go instinctively. And it's really amazing, the results you can achieve.
That's what's exciting for me. So I started with energy work and doing an intuitive energy work. And then I worked into the physical experience in the physical body. And so that was an interesting transition for me. And I still do energy work, which I complement with the body work. But where I would find and discover things energetically or intuitively, now I'm feeling it with my hands, and I find it and I stay, and it's different, and it's powerful and incredible.
Yes, it is powerful and incredible. I can definitely attest. You touched on this a little bit in the example you gave up front, but can you expound a little bit on how Thai bodywork in particular differs from traditional massage therapy?
So Thai bodywork is a three-dimensional practice. What I mean by that versus Traditional body work would be more two-dimensional, where you would lie on a table and you wouldn't be actively participating. So in Thai bodywork, just the setup is different, as you described. You walk in and it's a mat on the ground, and it's not a yoga mat, but it's not a bed. It's a firm mattress or pad that you lay on that's large enough where you can be manipulated and moved around. So you're actively participating with your practitioner who's moving your body, which is almost like partner yoga in a way, because it's a giving and receiving practice. And so your practitioner is moving your body and you're moving with them, which is very different from any other type of body work. So that's the setup, the movement, and then all Thai body work practitioners come at this experience from loving kindness. So we come in with an open heart where we're wanting to connect with our student or with our client in a deeper way, because we're moving with them. We're physically moving with them. And it's an energetic experience as well. So we're targeting those sun lines. We're moving energy. We're breaking up blockages. We're coming in it from stretch. We're coming at it with compression and acupressure and all of those types of things. So it's similar, but yet different. I think that it's more layered, I guess. And that's why I would describe it as a two-dimensional versus a three-dimensional experience. In Thai bodywork, you're clothed. So you don't take your clothes off. You're fully clothed through the entire experience. So you want to make sure that you're dressed comfortably. And I always recommend tight-fitting yoga clothes, whether it's a sports bra or tank top or even long sleeve, as long as it's tight. So you're clothed, you're not taking your clothes off. The practitioner is not using oils or anything like that. Sometimes you go into the Ayurvedic side and they might introduce some oils, but traditional Thai massage, you're not using any kind of lotion or oils and you're fully clothed. So that's something to think about. Definitely hydrating. So receiving any type of body work, you're moving the fascia, which, makes you dehydrated. And so it's super, super important to drink a lot of water afterward.
I love the way you described that as three-dimensional versus two-dimensional. That was my experience as well. And I think I would just also clarify for listeners, when you say that you need to participate as the receiver, it's not like you're doing a yoga class. Like you are not exerting yourself, right? Like you are just placing the body in a place that is a deep stretch, maybe moving a leg. Maybe you have to sit up against your knee or a pillow or something. It's you're moving, but you're not exerting yourself, sweating. It is not a workout. Like
no,
it is
it's not
fully relaxing, fully
Yes.
relaxing. So I just want to make sure that comes through if people are
Yes.
like, I don't really want to I go to a massage to relax. I don't want to do a yoga class and get massaged, but it is not like that at all.
It's so deeply relaxing that you're moving, but you almost don't even realize you're moving.
Yes, that is exactly it. In the beginning, I was more aware of it because at one point you had me like sitting up, but I was leaning against your knee and you were stretching my arms back and it felt so good. And then at one point I was on the ground and like moving my leg over the other. But after that, it's like I blacked out and I just felt relaxed. It's like I have no idea what you did. It just all felt awesome.
You're like
awesome.
Jello, and you don't even realize that you can move in these ways. Yeah.
It was so cool. Very cool. Nicole, I'm curious, are there specific health benefits to Thai body work that you can speak to in case people are curious?
Yeah, there's so many. So our bodies, there's a book called The Body That Keeps the Score, and it's an incredible book, and our bodies hold on to tension and stress. And so with Thai body work, you're able to move the energy in these blockages and manipulate it physically. So that's a huge health benefit, is that you might not even realize that you're carrying tension. And then through this experience, you could find yourself feeling emotional and having maybe crying, having some sort of a release because you released and opened up an energy channel. And so that's incredible. It's helpful in just allowing yourself to relax. And, people struggle with relaxing. Even when they go in for a massage, their mind is moving. And I think that it's helpful when you're being moved that you're not caught up in your head so much because your body is moving a little bit and you're experiencing this very therapeutic experience. So I find that it's more relaxing and you're able to go to a deeper space because of that. And so what I find with my clients is that they always say, oh my gosh, I had the best night's sleep after that experience. So it's helpful in releasing tension. It's helpful in promoting better sleep. And it's also helpful because of the deep stretch and the compression that you're able to have more flexibility and more mobility. So, as we get older, our muscles get tighter, our joints get tighter. It's harder to achieve the true benefits when you're doing a physical practice. But when you're receiving the compression and the stretch and all of those things together, then all of a sudden you have more mobility that you weren't even aware that you were able to achieve.
Yeah, no, that's definitely true. I felt so limber walking out of your house that day.
Yeah.
I mean, I was so loose. And I think you do get some of that from other practices that we talk about on the show. But like, I think Thai bodywork in particular was such a nice marriage of many of them, right? Because it was really, again, the yoga, the stretching, like it really was like small elements of each.
Yes.
And it just left me feeling so loose. Like,
so
it's
loose.
different than stretching at the gym, guys.
Oh,
it's completely different.
Completely. And the quote that I hear from almost every student that I work with or client that I work with is, I think I've grown like 3 inches. And so it's the lengthening. It's just that lengthening that you didn't even know that you had, and you feel looser and longer and taller and all of those things.
Well, you had me at better night's sleep. That is a huge benefit in my mind. But again, I love that a lot of these approaches, Thai bodywork in particular, like really help you drop into your body, clear your mind, and just really be present for a little while. And I think it's such a hard thing to do. And I love that this type of bodywork can put you in that state so quickly. And it's just a perfect way to get some assistance in achieving that.
Absolutely.
If it's hard for you to do today in your day to day. And I really enjoyed that piece. And I also, as you guys know, I love The Body Keeps the Score by Bessel van der Kolk right here, this book.
Do you have it right there?
This one right here was the impetus for the entire show.
Really?
So yes, it was. Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, it was. And it's really fascinating how emotion can show up as physical symptoms in your body, guys. I mean, I say this over and over again, but like, if you really want to heal from pain, anxiety, any of these ailments you might be experiencing, yes, I am fully on board for the cognitive approaches. I am a big supporter of therapy and, of course, medical intervention if you need it. But the somatic practices of really dropping into your body, feeling it, and trying to understand what might be trapped in there is so productive, or at least I found it to be so productive. And it's allowed me to release a lot of stuff that I didn't realize was a result of internal turmoil I may have been feeling over a distressing experience, or whatever it may have been. Like, we carry stress, and stress is not just emotional, right? Like, it can be a very physical experience. It causes inflammation, problems sleeping. And I think Thai bodywork is a great example of one thing that you can do to start releasing some of that pent up energy that is hurting you, not helping you.
You had sort of dabbled in on it, and I didn't want to say anything because I don't want to discount talk therapy, because I am a huge I've been in therapy my whole life. But if you notice when you have a trauma, I know that you have a trauma, that we know our story, right? So you know the story and you repeat the story. And when you talk about it, it actually doesn't, you don't feel it anymore, right? Because you've rehearsed this story, and it might even begin to irritate you or bring you back eventually because you're still repeating that same story. And so body work or doing any of these sort of energetic things are so powerful because now you're feeling it. So it's like, okay, I've been telling this and my mind has processed it. It's become a story, but like my body hasn't realized I can actually let it go. And so this is the opportunity to do that.
I love that you bring that up, because that is why a lot of these somatic practices were so helpful for me. Yeah. I had this conversation on multiple occasions with Jen, my therapist, and we talk about EMDR, and in some ways that is involving the body, right, in the healing. But I kept saying to her, I feel like we're making a lot of progress. My mind is making progress.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm processing the story cognitively, but my body is still feeling that anxiety.
Yeah.
It's still feeling that tension and stress, and it's not catching up. It's like it's not present
not
to the conversation.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
And myofascial release, acupuncture, yoga, Thai body work, all of these somatic ways of just dropping into my body and moving it and releasing that tension in new ways. Mm-hmm. And sometimes, to your point, you know your trauma. I think in a lot of cases you might not. And it's surprising that you're having these emotional releases and you don't know what to attribute them to. But that's why we say get curious about yourself, because there might be something there that's creating blockages and giving you anxiety and making you feel stressed and tense unnecessarily. And until you really drop into your body and figure out what's there, you can't fix it.
You can't.
Right?
No. Yep. Yeah. And we have that muscle memory. So wherever that stress tends to live, when you're triggered emotionally, it goes right back to that space. And it's taking that mindful moment to be like, oh, I'm feeling it in my shoulders again. I'm going to breathe into that and I'm going to allow that to release, rather than, oh my gosh, there's something wrong with me. I think so many people go to that space, and our body is just super intuitive, and it'll latch onto that energetic experience. And so with Thai body work, you're able to break it up, release it, and then maybe when you're triggered again, you won't have such a strong expression.
I'm sure that's very true. And actually, on that note, Nicole, how have you personally seen clients benefit from Thai body work? Are there any specific stories you can share of clients who have seen really great results from working with you?
Yeah. I think anyone that I've introduced it to, again, as I mentioned, I've been an energy practitioner for a long time, and now that I'm doing Thai body work. And so those particular clients that I've exposed to it are just in love with the practice. It's an evolution of the energy work. And so we'd been moving things energetically, and now they're able to experience things in more of a physical way. And I have this particular client who's, been struggling with feet issues her entire life that pretty much has debilitated her at different times. And so I've been working with her, and we're not just targeting the feet, it's really in the legs and the hips. And she is having these emotional connection and experiences where she was almost separate from her body and was focused so much on her feet, not realizing that there were so many different things in alignment and posture, and she was holding tension that she wasn't even aware of. So I think that Thai body work, what I've found in general, just brings a new sense of awareness to your body. It brings you back into your body. It helps you understand and listen to your body in a bigger way. And because you're working with your practitioner in conjunction together, where it's a giving and receiving, you develop this connection. And I think in our society, we've kind of like separated ourselves from people a little bit. And you're really, I hate to use the word intimate, but there is that level of comfort that you have with your practitioner, because you are working with them more of an intimate way in terms of moving with each other, that you feel this overwhelming sense of love and connection. And so you feel that for yourself, you feel that with your practitioner, and it just brings you away from that emotional space within the head and brings you back into the body. And so that's where I found the greatest improvement or best results, is really for people to find that body connection and to learn about their body in a bigger way.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's so important. And that was, I think, a lot of the reason that I've found so much success in my own healing journey was because I did take more than just a mind approach. I really have touched on the body, the somatic work, as well as spirit, which you guys know we get into a lot with a variety of different heroes. But I think that's really important. And you touched on something that I also think is a consistent theme across a lot of these approaches, which is the intimacy with the practitioner. To heal, you have to feel safe. And I think having that connection is so important. And we always talk about it at the end of the episodes. I think, whether it's Jacques or Karen or Kate, they all say, like, find a practitioner you're comfortable with. It's okay to go to somebody and then decide that they aren't for you.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really important piece of this, because you are so vulnerable when you are doing this type of healing and movement. And I'm glad you called that out.
Yeah, I think that sometimes in traditional massage, it can be a bit transactional where you might already be on the bed when the practitioner walks in and you didn't even see their face. You probably don't really know their name. And how are they supposed to connect with your body? And they do, right? But it's again more transactional. And in Thai body work, there's a conversation, you're moving with them, you're connecting with them. And so there's that connection component, and you're also going into your body in a deeper way than you would have traditionally by being submissive and, that experience.
I love that. Thanks for sharing that story, Nicole. I think that really brings it to life for everybody. Nicole, I'm curious, who specifically should consider Thai bodywork as a potential solution to any challenges or ailments that they might be coping with in their day-to-day?
I think everyone should experience it.
I mean,
Truly.
I second that because it's just awesome, guys. It's so relaxing. But I think I'll obviously let you answer for if there's specific stuff that people are navigating.
It's, again, it's great for everyone, but the people that I found to have the biggest benefit from it are individuals who have chronic pain. Individuals who have limited mobility and they're not able to truly reap the benefits of a stretch class or maybe even a yoga class because they're limited in their mobility and they experience chronic pain. So if you're working with a Thai practitioner doing Thai body work, because it has elements of all of these things in one experience, you can work with that person to help open the body more. So then you could go and take a yoga class or a Pilates class or whatever type of class that you wouldn't be able to achieve that level of mobility. And in addition to that, you're able to just better enjoy your life. You have more movement. You're able to sit in your car and drive. You're able to play golf and do all these things that you enjoy so much that would cause you pain. And by having this practice, you're opening the body, you're lengthening, you're stretching, you're increasing your mobility. And so it would be such an incredible complement to getting back into your life and your routine and feeling rejuvenated again.
I love that. I love that. And I think you just got anyone who's listening that plays golf, I'm sure, so excited because I feel like all of the pro golfers, it's like all about being limber, right? So
and it really takes a toll on your body, whether it's golf or tennis or any sort of physical activity that you're passionate about that you've been playing. It's that repetitive motion for years and years and years. And maybe it was okay when you were younger and all of a sudden you're getting a little bit older and it's no longer okay. And so Thai body work will help to promote that flexibility so that you can consistently stay up on your game and to be able to participate in these activities that you just enjoy so much.
I love that. It's I think a really nice way to think about supplementing some of the other activities people might already be doing. Basketball, to your point, tennis, golf, whatever, swimming even.
Swimming, yeah.
I mean,
it's anything that's repetitive and consistent. You have to mix it up and introduce different techniques and different strengthening and different movement to help complement, promote health. Otherwise, if you're repetitively doing stuff, you could strain the body and hurt yourself.
Yeah. No, I've heard that before. So I definitely could see how this would be a tool for ensuring you stay safe and, again, limber.
Yes, exactly.
What is it about this bodywork practice in particular that you think is so transformational for people?
That's a great question. I think that there's so many elements to it, but I want to say that it's the connection and the emotional experience of connecting with your body in a way that I don't know if I've even been able to achieve in my own personal yoga practice. And so it's that extension of having that body work done to you. So it's restorative. You have the energy component that helps bring you into that altered state of consciousness. You have the stretching and strengthening and all of those things. So again, because it's a combination of my favorite things, that's why I think that it's so important and I just enjoy it so much.
Well, I do too now. So thank you for getting me hooked on it because it really is the perfect storm of all of the things I enjoy too.
It's the perfect storm. I remember a long time ago, I used to say, I wish that there was a place that offered a chiropractic adjustment, massage, and yoga. And you could just go and it's a one-stop shop experience. And then I discovered Thai yoga, which I feel, or Thai bodywork. And I feel like it's a combination of so many things that I feel satisfied after receiving. And I've noticed that within my clients and students, they feel the same way. They're just blown away.
I love that you bring that up because that was a question I was going to ask you. Is Thai bodywork usually performed in the comfort of the practitioner's home, or are there places that people can look to find Thai bodywork at spas or yoga studios? What do you recommend?
It's provided in all of those locations. When you travel abroad, I found that it's more common to be offered at a spa. Again, people would come to your home or whatever, that's fine. But Thai bodywork is a traditional offering. Say you go to Costa Rica or you go to Thailand or travel abroad, it's an offering that you'll likely find. Within the States, I haven't had that same experience. And so living in the States, typically you would probably want to look at your local yoga studio and see if that's an offering, because it's such a complement to the yogic practice that many yoga instructors will offer Thai bodywork. I haven't found it offered in many of our spas, but again, it hasn't been as popular, and now this conversation is coming into play. People are discovering it, and I find that it will change and that it will be an offering that you'll find that's more readily accessible. But in a lot of retreat and wellness centers, they'll offer it. Big retreat centers like Omega or Kapalo, those types of places, you'll find those offerings. And again, I would recommend looking at your local yoga studio, or you just Google Thai bodywork and you'll find some practitioners, but it's not as accessible as a traditional massage where you would drive down the street and see spa. And it's a little bit harder to find. But with that said, I think that more people are offering it than we realize.
Yeah, well, that's good to hear. And what I was afraid of, I guess, previously is that it can be hard to find because it's not totally ubiquitous yet. But I think Googling and seeing if there's anyone locally that practices any studios is a really good first step. A really good first step.
Yeah.
Knowing that the connection between the person receiving the bodywork and the practitioner is such an important part of Thai bodywork and feeling its benefits. Is there any way that people can start to dabble in this at home on their own, or do they really need a partner to help with the stretching?
Since COVID, post-COVID, the Thai offerings have become more universal. And so there's a lot of online partner Thai massage programs out there. So if you're interested in it and you have a partner at home, whether it be your husband, your wife, your friend, your partner, whoever it may be, as long as you have another body with you, you can participate in a couple's massage. And so you would watch the practitioner leading any type of workshop, and you could work on your loved one at home. And so that's an incredible opportunity for you to bond with your partner and to learn about each other and learn about your body and to help heal each other. So yes, it is accessible at home now, which is new. I'd say only in the last maybe 5 years it's become an offering. There are incredible teachers within the States that have training programs and workshops that are offered online. So you don't actually have to go to a yoga studio. You don't have to go to a healing center. You can do it from your home, and they'll guide you through this practice. And it's something that you could do again on your loved one or your partner, or say you have a sick family member that you would just love to help them in some way. And that's a great way to be able to help them. And so I think that's a new wave of training for people in general, where it's brought into the home, and maybe you don't want to do it professionally, but it's a way to assist and help promote health within anyone who's not feeling well at home.
Oh, I love that. I hadn't thought about it in the way of someone who maybe immobile or coping
Yeah.
with, some more serious illness. And I can imagine this type of work would feel so rejuvenating for that person.
Incredible. And it's promoting a bonding experience. So we're at that age where our parents are getting older, and you see the decline in their health, and you feel a little helpless as a child to see your parents. My parents have passed, but I see this within my friends. And to with Tide massage, for you to be able to go and to help them and assist them and just help them feel better is just so magical. So, there are offerings online where you could do this at home, or you could go to a center and get trained, and you would be able to help out anyone who is within your home.
I really love that. And the example you gave, guys, make it a date night.
Make it a
Order
date.
in,
Yeah.
watch some Thai bodywork videos and get to work on each other.
Yeah.
I feel like that could also be if you're looking to drive more intimacy in your relationship, I mean, it is a very intimate experience. So
It is.
I can see how that would be almost really empowering to bring that into your home and be able to practice that with each other.
Yep. And, again, all Thai therapists, Thai body workers, we come into it with loving kindness, and we want to have that intimate connection. And so when you have that mentality, whether it's a client or a partner or a friend or someone you love, it's ingrained, it's there, and it's building that connection.
I love that. Well, thanks for sharing that, Nicole. Nicole, for listeners who are curious based on the conversation, can you describe what a typical Thai bodywork session looks like?
Yes. So as I mentioned before, you wouldn't walk in and arrive on a table. So you would walk into a room and there would be a mattress on the floor. So it's not quite a mattress, it's a pad, or it's a couple inch like mattress that you would lay on that's firm.
If you guys want a good visual, I literally walked in the room and I thought Nicole was going to ask me to wrestle her. It literally looked like a wrestling mat. I was like, what is about to happen here?
It's big enough so that you have space to move. And Chandler's quite tall, so, it needs to be long.
She had 2 mattresses out.
Yeah, she's very tall. And so it's a mattress, and there are lots of props and pillows and blankets and all sorts of tools that you'll need. And so when you come in, your pose is different depending on the practitioner. I tend to like to start seated, and you would then arrive on your back and then flip back over to your belly and maybe back on your back or on your side. So you're moving around quite a bit. And there are moments where you're participating physically, not in a way of doing push-ups or sit-ups or that type of thing, but you'll be asked to sit up or come into a forward fold or that type of thing. And then there are times that you're just lying down and not moving. And so it's a combination of both. It typically lasts 60 minutes. Some can go up to 3 hours, which sounds wild, but once you've had a Thai bodywork experience, you'll understand why you could stay there for 3 hours, because it takes a while. I prefer to work for at least 90 minutes because you just feel rushed. And as I mentioned, those sunlights, those energetic channels, you're finding and discovering these blockages, and you stay with it. Right. So when you're receiving a traditional massage, you're moving, and there's maybe a sort of an outline that they like to follow, and they don't really go off course. And with Thai bodywork, the whole point of it is to go off course and to find these blockages and to stay with it and have that commitment to allow it to move. And when you're confined to a certain amount of time, that's 60 minutes, it's quite challenging to really do the type of work that you want to do.
Yeah, and I'll say 2 things to that. One, I could have easily stayed there for the rest of the afternoon doing this. Like, it was so relaxing. I would have happily been there for 3 hours. Mm-hmm. And then 2, what you said is very much consistent and in theme with a lot of the stuff that we talk about on this show, which is sitting in that discomfort. Like, that is really where the unlock comes, guys. You've got to sit in discomfort and let it flow through you so that you can get to the other side of it, or that discomfort is just going to stay within you. Yeah. And so I think that's a really important point, because sometimes I feel like whether it's massage or something else, you get to the point where it gets a little scary and you don't want to talk about that thing, or you don't want to move your body that way because it hurts a little bit more than you're used to, and you just want to be relaxed. But if you just sit and let it just hurt for a little while, it dissipates. Yeah. It goes away.
Yeah. Well, with Thai bodywork, the breath is so important. So you're focused on that breath and breathing. And when we find these uncomfortable places in the body, we'll stay there. and we'll breathe into it. And maybe I'll ask the question, what is it that you're carrying here? What are you holding here? What do you visualize as I compress this space in your body? And that's when that movement and that release truly happens. We're not brushing over it. We're not easing through it. We're sticking with it. We're breathing into it. We're creating space. We're bringing awareness to the body. And so that's why it's just so wonderful.
It's so powerful. Nicole, how did you first learn about and become interested in Thai body work, given it's not as ubiquitous here in the States?
Yeah, so I didn't even know about it for a long time. And I've been a person who loves any type of body work. And I've been seeking out different types of modalities pretty much my whole life. And so I started with energy work, as I mentioned, but I had always been interested in massage, not necessarily becoming a massage therapist, but interested in that practice. And so when I became a yoga instructor, what drew me to being a yoga instructor was the ability to manipulate and to adjust students. And so with that and learning about that, then I found Thai bodywork, and we had lots of different trainings here and there. And so I had dabbled in it to learn about it, and I just found it fascinating and incredible. Then I had my first experience, and I was in Costa Rica at a spa, and that was an offering. And so I had experienced it in different trainings, but I hadn't actually received a full experience until that point. And when I had that full experience, I was just, I couldn't even believe it. I couldn't believe that this hadn't been in my life from day one. I couldn't believe that, I had exposure to it. And I knew immediately that this is the type of work that I wanted to do. I wanted to be able to help people in a bigger way. And because there's such an exchange, it's not a draining experience for the practitioner. It's an invigorating experience for you and your student and client. And so that's really when I knew that that's something that I had to do. And so my teacher, he travels all over. And so he's based out of California. And I had started working with him, receiving from him, receiving my trainings through him. And that's sort of where it started.
Very cool. Well, I'm glad that you picked it up and are now spreading word, because
Yes.
this is one that I feel like everyone just needs to just try. It's awesome. There's no reason not to. It feels so great.
It's so great. And it's been such a wonderful compliment as a yoga instructor, just in my private client experience. When I have people with limited mobility and they want a yoga class, we're ending up doing a lot of Thai because they wouldn't be able to hold a traditional pose. There are people that can't even come into a downward facing dog. And I'm able to allow them to move and manipulate their body in a way because of Thai. And so Thai yoga, that's it. It's really powerful and incredible in promoting that flexibility and that overall well-being and balance.
Oh, I love that. I'm going to help spread this mission and this awareness, because I feel like, to your point, especially thinking about the elderly, like what a great tool and practice for them to engage in.
So incredible and so helpful.
Yeah, no, I'm sure it is. Well, thank you for sharing that perspective.
Yes,
That's
yes.
very helpful. Nicole, for anyone who is now interested in giving Thai bodywork a try and looking for maybe a practitioner locally or near them, is there anything he or she should specifically think about before or after practicing bodywork?
You might want to clear your day because it is an energetic experience and you're going to move some stuff around. So a lot of people feel lighter and almost receiving like a yogic high afterward, or more emotional, where it'd be really hard for you to go back to your desk and have to actually work and be focused, right? So clear your day so that you have time to just rest and restore and drink a lot of water. I always recommend an Epsom salt bath after anything like this is lovely. So those would be the main recommendations that I would have.
Nicole, I learned so much today. Thank you so much for being here to tell everybody a lot more about Thai bodywork and its benefits and how it differs from Western massage. And now go get one, everyone. They are awesome. So thank you, Nicole, for being here as always and sharing your wisdom with everyone.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much for this opportunity. It was so much fun.
Always have fun, Nicole. Thank you for coming. And to those tuning in, if you liked today's discussion, please share it with friends and don't forget to subscribe. You can also visit healingheroespodcast.com to get resources, meet the heroes, and share your ideas for future episodes. Thanks for listening, everyone. And until next time, remember, be curious, be courageous, and be kind to yourself. You've got this.